Morning people, don't know if you can see them, can be racing back. They go all over the bloody place. I can hear them, I might see them. They do have a good, you know they said they're unnatural, look at showy cock on the outside, look. I was on about showy cocks on the video the other week. I always get some showy ones that like showing off, clapping and bounding about, where others will put their head in the shoulders and put you in a good shift. I mean it's -1, you know there's frost on ground. And 3 showy cocks that have come out, black and blue, and a checker. But these will drop, or one of them to then I think, check in. But these will carry on, they're not bothered. There's 1 or 2 ain't come out, look. I don't force them this time of year. They want to not bother, see a showy cock just come out clapping away. But just happy at the minute, aren't they? Forget these have all got like 10-day-old young'uns. Well, they've all got round about 10-day-old young'uns. Some might be a little bit younger, some might be a little bit older. But it doesn't stop them. There they are going over there now. It's funny because they usually go down that bloody way and then come back over the spire of that chapel, or go down the riverbank. The riverbank's only 2 streets that way. You know, you got the river. And then they go down that river, carry on going. I mean, that river goes right to Newark, but then they spin round. Oh, they have a real good go. Like I said, they say they're all unnatural and feeding big young'uns. There ain't a lot wrong there. I love mornings like this. You know nobody else is up, they're all stood in bed scratching their knackers. And you've got the skies to your send. I have it all summer. There ain't many in games we get up like I do. But I always have. I've always been a good get up. You know, even when I went to work, I like getting there early and leave a bit earlier. That's what I've always liked doing. Never worried with Gaffer. He's always to come a bit earlier and leave a bit early. Especially in the winter, you could get your bods done in the evening. But we'll see what this year brings. I've got a full team now anyway, so because I didn't lose any young'uns racing last year. I mean, I didn't go to a lot of races. There's a silver cocky went to 1 race. We stayed in breed to buy one with 200 quid. 26 to Leicester the week before the national, because I'd only trained in my sen and I was just going to put them straight into the national from training. But the week before had been bloody bad and I couldn't get them up the road, so I put them into Leicester. It's only 50 odd mile to me. Anyway, I got 26 out of 26, and then 7 of them went to the national, and I got 7 out of 7 in the Young Bird National. Put 5 in the clock. There was another one here when I got back from clocks, and one was next morning. So I was happy with them as well. Oh, they've gone now, are they? I could watch pigeons all bloody day, me. I really could. But Barry Mack used to say, you're better off watching and observing. Because I can remember Matt, he was the best stockman I've ever known, Mac. And he used to say, he said, stockmen are born, they're not made. It's something you're born with. Because he could look in a loft and pick your best bloody pigeon out just by looking at him. He was some bloody man. He really was. I miss the old sod. He said, come and pair some of my pigeons up for me and put that to that, that to that. And you wouldn't have thought so. Do you know what I mean? But he was some man. He really, really was. There were 2 cocks on each side of him clapping about. They do make me laugh. I mean, when I split them up and they're on with it, they'll fly even better than this. They do put good shifts in. I think it helps and all with having nobody else around me as well. No other pigeons, nobody else bother getting up. I'm going to get round into circles, aren't I? I could stand here and do this for an hour, because that magic hour. But even though, you know, they might not do an hour, they might do 40 minutes. And I've tried to tell people loads and loads of times, don't just think about the magic hour when you hear people say, mine do an hour. I'd sooner mine do 30 or 40 minutes hard flying, putting in a good shift, than I would an hour having to be flagged or just lolloping, clapping around the loft. Half an hour of really good flying with their heads in the shoulders, you know, putting a good shift in like them. Do you know what I mean? Or just an hour flopping around the loft. No good. No good. You get them to try and do a good shift. And even if they only do half an hour having a good shift, then that's better. Forget the hour. Forget everybody says, mine do an hour. When they've got 25 flags up shooting a shotgun every 5 minutes and putting rockets in the air. Now, half an hour doing a good shift is far better than an hour just lolloping around. But shouldn't need to be flagged, to be honest. I mean, when they're on Woodward, nobody should have to flag birds. Nobody. These are the showy cocks, you can guarantee. Others will carry on. Now, don't worry. I'm just going to show you they will. You watch them call me a liar and all drop. The live filming, eh? They're the showy ones. Yeah, going back to flagging and that, you shouldn't have to, especially with young ones, you shouldn't have to flag young ones. And Woodward cocks should never be flagged, or hens. Should never have to. They should be wanting to fly the skies out. Big time. You know what I mean? I mean, before, when I flew Woodward before, I used to let them out and shut the doors. They never come down until I open the doors. Do you know what I mean? That gets them in two things, doesn't it? It lets them know that's time to come down, open the door, shout them in. Then on a race day, obviously the door's rotten, so you shouldn't have a bad trap because the door's rotten, and they know in their mind the door's rotten, it's time to go in. As well as obviously on a Saturday, they're more motivated because they'll know their end's there. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot more to it than just I'm going to let them out and widow them. I don't know what videos are about on Woodward now. I mean, I have never bought one. I just learnt all mine off Barry and Nigel Coward a bit. But you learn by your experiences and all, and your own mistakes. If you've made a mistake, then you should learn by it. We all make mistakes, bloody Nora. We ain't got long now, though. I mean, these will, I would imagine them young ones will still be in nest when these go. So if I miss the first, then I miss it. But there'll be some, I would imagine, I can pick through. And even if I only send half a dozen, I'm not bothered. Don't matter. There'll be some. There'll be some of them all right. I don't like sending them, you see, if they've got like mark on the beak where they're feeding. I like them to all look clean. So the week after they'll probably be sulking because they'll be withered. They'll be sulking like hell. But again, I'll pick through because some of them will be right. It's knowing your pigeons, isn't it? Observation, and this is where standing here looking at them. Learn individual pigeons because they're all different. You know what I mean? They all might think, yep, they're all on widowwood, that's them. Some take the widowwood, you know, some don't. You'll get some cocks that just won't have it. And if you ain't got two sections where you could pair a few pair up, then you're snookered with him. Because they don't all take to it. That showy cock, look. I know that's the dark cock. He's got a flight missing. It is. See? It's just learning them pigeons. He's going off on his own with his checker hen. He's got an hen behind the board on the floor, but he's took a fancy to another checker hen as well. And there he's on his own going over the chapel with her. That's a woody, that. Going into this, I've got a wood, you see, outside of me here. Which is good because I get all the there is a pair of crows up there nesting. But the jackdaws that are in them pots, what I told you the other week, they come and let stuff on me and all. I mean, they come on my feeder. Jackdaws do. When I put suet balls in there, they come and help the sense to them. Which I don't mind. Pigeons don't mind them. There's that dark cock, look, on his own over there, in his hen. Just the two of them want to be together. See, they're the showies. They're the main actors. So I hope everybody else's bods are alright. And giving it some. I still think it's a bit cold to train. There was a debate on it the other night on Facebook. I think it's a bit cold to train. These are flying because they want to fly. You know what I mean? If I took them, there's 2 Mickeys going to come into them. 2 street pigeons. There is a 2 on that chapel. So I bet they're off there. They drop here odd time, but not very often, to be honest. I mean, when I used to air rifle down here, I used to just knock them off the top of the loft. I'm not allowed to air rifle down here now, so I can't do that. That's why there's so many pigeons sitting in no trees. I look up there and I think, bloody hell, breakfast. You know, because I used to knock them out the tree because they damage our crops big time. You put a row of cabbage plants in one evening, they won't be there in the morning. Oh, they get them. That's why I built the brassica cage. I mean, it don't look the nicest, but it does its job. I've got all my flower and broccoli in there. But I used to knock them out the tree and have them for breakfast. Just pop the breasts out and fry them. Lovely, and a bit of toast with an egg. See, your showies are coming down, look. It's the hens, because obviously the hens are off the nest because the youngs are old enough to sit on their own. Cocks always get showy, don't they? Start clapping about, bugging about, where most of the hens. But I know there's some cocks in with them hens that do a good shift. Again, observation again. You'll learn a lot by observation. That's the dark cock with the flight missing, look. And around 2 Mickeys have just joined. 2 streeters. He likes flying on his own, that dark cock. I noticed a lot about him. He goes off and boof on his own. But they're going over there again now. See, once the showies come out of them, they do a better shift. There's a couple more showies, look at the bottom. This one's screaming in. The one behind him wants to come down. But I'm not bothered yet. Plenty of time yet. 2 weeks to go. 2 weeks to go yet. But I'm just showing that don't just go for this magic hour. 30 minutes hard flying, better than an hour just lolloping around the loft. Don't put a shift in. Okay, people, I'll get off. I'm not boring you walking around showing you pigeons all day. You've all got your own bloody pigeons. Alright, people, take care. Have a good one.